What's up guys, welcome back. Today I want to take you through the recently released Ninja Gaiden Master Collection on Nintendo Switch, a project near and dear to me. Growing up as I did, one game stood above them all, and even though I never managed to finish it way back then, until I bought the kick-ass Famicom Mini and tried again, save states and all, Ninja Gaiden has always held a special place in my heart. And recently I finally played through the original Ninja Gaiden, the arcade release, which is part of the Endstream arcade service, something which you should definitely check out for yourself. So, when Koei Tecmo sent over 4 review codes, one for each game in this trilogy and the 4th for the digital artbook and full soundtrack of each game, I didn't waste a single breath and went all out. Here we go. The Ninja Gaiden Master Collection comes in 2 forms, the basic collection featuring all 3 games for a grand total of 11 GB of Ninja Gaiden goodness, and the Deluxe Edition, which includes the digital artbook and an additional 2.5 GB of your valuable space. Let me start by saying that all these 3 games are exhilarating in their own right. Sure, the story, the plot development pretty much runs off the cliff towards the end of Ninja Gaiden 3, where you're battling spider tanks and dinosaurs for some reason. But the good thing here is that you can quickly jump in and out of these games, as the main control scheme remains fairly unaltered between the 3 releases. Ninja Gaiden Sigma stays relatively true to the original Ninja Gaiden on the Famicom and NES, and will have you platform and fight your way in 3D fashion, all the while solving puzzles by collecting key items in order to retrieve others. The game is nicely paced out with intuitive tutorials and frequent backtracking. While the common enemies remain ever relentless, it is the boss fights which take some more time studying as to how to defeat them. Ninja Gaiden Sigma runs perfectly, as can be expected from a title originally released in 2007, and although the visuals definitely feel aged at this point, it's a certified entry point for anyone interested in getting into the Ninja Gaiden lore.
So your father is still in the sacred wilderness?
Yes. He has entrusted me with the sword while he continues his training.
Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 is my personal favorite of this bunch, and in more ways than one is an improvement over the first game in this trilogy, in all but the very nature of the puzzle platformer. It is a much more streamlined affair, in which the action definitely takes the stage, but it does so in style, decapitations and all that included. Protagonist Ryu Hayabusa's quick moves and nimble footwork really shine in this iteration, and his attacks feel so much more impressive this time around. Whether it is with his family heirloom dragon sword, the staff, the claws, shuriken, bow and arrow, this game is one of those must-play action games. If you like anything from Bayonetta to Koei Tecmo's own Dynasty Warriors, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 has your back. Where it does disappoint though is in the performance category. Whereas a game from 2009 should run without many issues on the Nintendo Switch. I mean, they made Crysis Remastered run just fine. In both handheld and dock modes, there are instances, most notably the jungle in the second chapter, where thankfully the frame rate remains constant, but the resolution drops like a rock. Because of the decision to maintain the frame rate, this doesn't take you out of the action per se, but a graphical sacrifice like this seems avoidable and should definitely be patched out at the earliest. That aside, on the whole the game looks great, especially considering its age, and because of the action and the way the game is paced out, there is not a moment for you to catch your breath.
You're coming with us! Stop struggling!
If I have to nitpick though, I do think they should have employed some quality of life upgrades, like a motion control scheme while using the bow and arrow. What do you think? Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge is a different beast altogether, from the extreme blood, gush and gore to the cinematic experience and slow motion button inputs. This game definitely feels unlike any Ninja Gaiden game I've ever played. Not for nothing this game is considered somewhat of the black sheep of the family, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's not enjoyable. In fact, I've had quite a blast playing through it. There are some new elements to enjoy here, from the elaborate skill tree and unlockables, to more gameplay elements like the stealth skills and gliding sequences, complete with cinematic attacks upon landing, as well as the fog of war fights, providing a nice mix-up of the constant action where Ryu finds himself slicing off heads and chopping up bodies like never before, something Quentin Tarantino could have dreamt up, and I for one wouldn't be surprised to see his name pop up somewhere in the credits roll. Warning, this is not a child-friendly game. Ninja Gaiden games have always been about action platforming and fighting your way through the stages, but the thing which made the first game on the Famicom or NES stand out was the cinematic cutscenes as an integral part of the game, something pretty much unheard of at that time. Sure, this has been executed according to tradition in the first 2 games of this trilogy, but is taken to a whole new level in this final game. This does work wonders, especially in the epic boss battles, complete with button mashing, breaking of level elements so as to take the fight outside, so to speak. Oh, no, wait, that was quite literal here. Ending up in the transformation of Ryu absorbing his dragon sword into his arm. All in all, Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge looks quite positively stunning, especially considering this is a game of almost a decade old at this point. And I wish I could have left it there were it not for some performance issues once more. Especially in the first challenge area, where you can see a definite resolution downgrade, as was the case with the former game. If you've so decided to shell out the additional bucks for the Deluxe Edition, there are some really nice art books for you to enjoy here. From promotional material to character portraits and level designs, and finally, 4 storyboards along with their cinematic sequences. A thing I for one really appreciate here is that all of the handwritten notes accompanying all of these drawings remain untouched, something which more often than not receives a translation process, but not in this case, which makes it feel more genuine. And last but not least, you can enjoy all of your favorite tracks from all these games. Should they have included ROMs of the original Ninja Gaiden trilogy from the Famicom or NES? Yes, absolutely, without a second thought. Something that definitely feels missing from this Deluxe Edition. So, what do you guys think? I for one am delighted to play through this Ninja Gaiden Master Collection on my Nintendo Switch, and as such can more than recommend anyone enjoying an action platform or simply put, a third-person action game to pick it up. At the same time, I find it next to unforgivable that the performance takes such hits as I have shown in this video in 2 of the 3 games making up this collection. In that regard, you might want to consider picking up the Xbox, PlayStation or even Steam version of this collection, where such issues are not found. In any event, Koei Tecmo, solve this and patch it out at the earliest, and I will see you next time.